Social media usage has become part of the daily routines of many. 3.8 billion people, about 40% of the world's population, spends 2 hours on average on social media every day. It is especially popular among teenagers and adolescents, with 81% of them engaging in social media, out of which one-third visits its various sites numerous times an hour. Therefore, a growing portion of this group's social-emotional development occurs online, and more specifically on social media. It might have a negative impact on teenagers' psychological well-being and cognitive development, which regulates the quantity and quality of their social interactions. The following clips will explain how this might come about.
Now, social media is your own personal highlight reel. A highlight reel is a collection of your best and brightest moments. The highlight reel is the cause of most teenagers' insecurities today. That's because we're always comparing our struggles or behind the scenes to other people's highlight reels.
We get rewarded by hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value and we conflate it with truth.
What ultimately then happens is that, as a consumer, you want to put your best foot forward, essentially live up to the expectations, sort of the obligations you have towards others, and thereby construct a social reality as well as a social self. Essentially, they limit the kinds of identities we can have.
Teenagers in particular are especially vulnerable to being pressured by their ideal self and to practice false strategic self-presentation, as their age group's core issues consist of identity, and exploring self-identity seems to be an important use of visual-centric social media sites such as Instagram. As such, teenagers' disposition to occupy themselves with distorted identity construction and self-presentation might lead them to create more superficial interactions and potentially impede intimacy in the long term. A potential solution to this could be the employment of immersive virtual environmental technology, IVET, to aid in the construction of self-concept and identity through approaches similar to the empty chair technique and those adopted in narrative therapy and somatic mindfulness. IVET is an assemblage of computer software and hardware which immerses users in artificially created virtual environments, typically through a head-mounted display-based system which allows them to explore three-dimensional computer-generated images within the headpiece. This allows them to perceive themselves as existing within the VE and interact with the environment and its elements in real time. By incorporating concepts from narrative therapy, IVET may prompt users to identify their sense of purpose and own skills to employ in problem solving. To elaborate, IVET could apply externalization and deconstruction techniques by employing its technology to dynamically represent concepts and objects that are typically intangible. This might help teenagers, in this case, clarify their self-perceptions regarding their behavior, unique characteristics, and abilities, which could have positive impacts on their confidence and self-identity construction. Alternatively, IVET could be used to engage in role-playing, whereby users participate in interactions with virtual avatars or allow users to experience different realities, resulting from behavioral change in a highly realistic manner. These users integrate concepts from the empty chair and unique outcomes techniques, as in offering the option to personalize interventions to individual characteristics. IVET promotes the malleability of personal representations, which allows users to experience alternative forms of themselves. More specifically, it helps teenagers in identifying their emotions, expressing themselves freely, and honing their communication skills. It also encourages them to practice their portrayal of a genuine self-image through various behaviors in a judgment-free space. This in turn might have beneficial effects on the development of their self-conceptions and esteem, as these trial-and-error vicarious learning experiences allow them to mentally approximate the experience of making decisions and its outcomes in a conducive way. Given that experiential academic schemes have demonstrated favorable outcomes in communicating abstract scientific constructs, IVET can be expected to effectively convey similarly abstract concepts of self-perceptions, thoughts, and emotions. As such, it can be inferred that IVET facilitates the understanding of one's mindset, perhaps through enhanced visualization, which would aid teenagers in the process of introspection and construction of an authentic identity. Additionally, in the case of role-playing, virtual avatars have been found to communicate natural expressions more precisely than real humans. This suggests that teenagers who engage in social interactions while embracing their authentic selves during IVET sessions are likely to build confidence in replicating this behavior in reality due to the positive and plausible feedback they receive. This will contribute to their ability to form and maintain close and genuine relationships, thus boosting their social competence.